Hey guys, the NBA season is kicking off. We've got a ton of great content for you on our YouTube channel. We've got Old Man of the Three Things. We've got our player and guest interviews on Old Man of the Three, and we'll be having some fresh Islands in the League episodes from DraftKings. We are approaching 1 million subscribers on our YouTube channel. Can't believe we're even close to this. Can't thank you guys enough. If you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button. Lots of fun NBA content coming your way. I'm going to throw this out there because this is just a short one. One thing that stood out, I watched the afternoon game yesterday against the Thunder. For all the talk this offseason about a lot of teams that added pieces, players potentially taking a step forward, new faces and new places. Hey, guy, the Denver Nuggets are pretty fucking good. They're pretty fucking good. Yeah. And, you go that Lakers game where Jokic just absolutely dominated. They get a win on the road against the Grizz. Jokic's three-quarter court alley-oop pass to Aaron Gordon, by the way, was one of the best passes I've seen in my life. But then yesterday against the Thunder, this is a Thunder team, right, that has some hype, has some buzz, and they just dominated them. And what really stood out was the continued cohesiveness. So obviously the five starters looked excellent playing together. But I thought Peyton Watson, Christian Braun, Reggie Jackson, like all the talk about Bruce Brown being gone, like it's early returns, I know, but we're looking for indicators. And I saw some good things. There were a couple of those, baseline drive, slot cuts from Peyton Watson, gets a dunk. Just thinking the game. Christian Braun out in transition, playing off ISO. Like there was some good stuff from those three guys. But man, that starting five, the cohesiveness offensively and defensively, guys just playing to their role, playing to their strengths. They're going to be a really good basketball team again. And Nikola Jokic is pretty damn good at basketball.
I'm glad you went here because I'm watching them in opening night, ring night. They get their rings. We know how that can go a lot of nights. We've seen it time and time again. Like those teams in that moment, there's a fog in the air, literally, because a lot of times there's like fireworks in the building. So there's literally a fog in the air. But then there's also just like, it's a surreal experience that everyone's going through. And just, it's so different than a normal game night. And then what do? They come out, ball goes up in the air, and they basically play damn near a perfect quarter. And I'm sitting there going, are you serious right now? Like they looked like they were playing 2 days after their last game in the finals. Like it was just another game. After all that time off, after winning a championship, who knows how that affected all of these guys off seasons, and it makes it different for sure. Not just in terms of it's a little shorter because you played longer. It's just everything that comes with it. The way you're embraced anywhere you go, it's just everything's different for those guys. You come in, the whole night, that night is weird, and you come out and you basically are perfect offensively in the first quarter of the game, sending an absolute message that, hey, look, I know a lot of people might question about our cohesion on the bench, and did we lose pieces and not replace them? Well, guess what? We'll figure that part out. That remains to be seen. But how about in the meantime, take a look at this starting five and look at what we're capable of doing. And look, JJ, look at the guys in that starting five to start the year. These are the field goal percentages of their five players. 61 for Jokic, 55 for Jamal Murray, 47 for Michael Porter Jr., 48 for KCP, and 55 for Aaron Gordon. Oh, and by the way, Reggie Jackson coming off the bench at 50%, Peyton Watson at 67%. I mean, it just doesn't happen at the start of the year. Any team, you're just not in rhythm like this. It speaks volumes to what they had, the greatness of Jokic and his ability to orchestrate all that stuff, but just how good this starting five is and how much we're constantly looking for that argument of who's gonna be better than the Nuggets this year. Come on, man. A team's got a lot of ground to make up on this team right now with the way those five guys look together.
Yeah, it's funny. You talked last week about core continuity, and of course Denver came up, but there's a continuity of just the offense. Almost every team that I've watched so far, there's been stretches of games where you're like, all right, the offense is a little bogged down right now, And I didn't watch the Memphis game, but I did watch the Lakers game, and of course yesterday. And it's like, yeah, it's just continuous. They just flow from one thing to another. Oh, guess what? We didn't score the last two possessions. Oh, we can always go back to that double drag screen where Aaron Gordon slips and we get to the Jokic Murray two-man action with Murray going to his right hand. We can always do that, and you don't really have an answer for it. All right, give me your third thing. Let's wrap this thing up.
All right, third one is guy to change teams this year, and you knew he was going to be an impactful player, but we wanted to see exactly what that fit looked like. I came out the day that this happened, and I said, this is phenomenal for this organization to get this player, and that's Kristaps Porzingis. So I'm looking at Porzingis in Boston early and looking at their team coming in. And look, this is a team that, pretty much perennially is in the Final Four, right? They're always in the hunt there at the end, trying to figure out how to get this thing across the finish line. They make this move to bring in Porzingis. They lose two key guys defensively in Robert Williams and Marcus Smart. And I'm like, well, how are they going to replace that? Well, okay, I guess if you're going to replicate that, maybe you go get a Drew Holiday to replace Marcus Smart, maybe just the best on-ball defender, the perimeter in the NBA. And now you go get a guy in Porzingis who maybe won't have that spectacular one that he gets above the square, like coming block to block like Robert Williams can. But the guy's an elite level rim protector, has been pretty much his entire career. So you still have that component, and he can track guys. If he jumps out on ball screen at 25 feet and that guard turns the corner and beats him 3 strides, he's going to be committed to go get that and affect the shot. I don't know how many plays so far in their first couple games of guys clearly starting to turn the corner in an iso or a ball screen, and just seeing Porzingis back there on the block changes their mind about what they think they can do in terms of getting to the rim. So the rim protection component is still there. Like, that deterrence is still there. But I know this, much as I like Robert Williams, he was not hanging out there and getting 30 points on the other end of the floor and just punishing you for anything you do to load up on ISOs for Tatum or Brown or any of that ball screen action. And the thing is this, JJ, here's what's so different about Porzingis. And when I compare him to a guy even like Horford, who's still on the roster, Al Horford can pick and pop and has turned himself into a big-time three-point shooter. His pick and pops, though, put his toe 2 inches behind the line. That's where Al Horford's going to pick and pop to. Kristaps Porzingis is going to pick and pop to 28 to 30 feet. Why is that different? Because the amount of rotation that it takes to get there, and not plus the guy's 7'3". So on top of it, he's shooting with that high release at 7'3". The spacing element in terms of hard trap hedge on the guard, and now I got to get back to him, you're not getting there. He's further out, and he's 7'3". And if you're going to trap that ball and rotate someone else to him, they've got to go an extra step. The distances that he is at, the height that he is releasing the ball from, you're just not affecting it. He is going to get all the naked looks he wants and semi-naked ones. At 7'3", you turn them into naked ones because of your release point. He is a seamless fit for them offensively. And by the way, he's also not a one-dimensional player. He's getting to the line 7 times a night. So you can run some plays in the short. He likes the short post. He's not going to get deep into the post and pound you with a drop step. He goes short post, dribble, turn around, shoot over you, and get hit on the elbow a lot, and now go to the line and shoot 2 free throws where he's going to shoot a high percentage. So you replace 2 guys with these 2 players, Holiday and Porzingis gives you the rim protection, and he's giving you much greater offensive punch and a perfect fit alongside these players. So I've been super impressed with his start to the year as well. And it just makes you love Boston even more. Those people that pick Boston to win it all, you got to love what you're seeing the first couple games.
Yeah, brought up the post-ups. He has in both these games punished the mismatches when they do switch those pick and rolls. He's gone down to the paint, either gotten fouled, gotten an and one, whatever. Joe Mazzulla, I'll bring this up probably throughout the season because it seems like we're going to be talking about the Celtics and it seems like we're going to be talking about Porzingis a bunch. But in our pregame meeting on October 8th, preseason game, of course, he said, we haven't seen the best version of Porzingis yet. And he wasn't talking about counting stats. He was talking about him playing high-level, meaningful basketball deep into May, June, and all the things that he does that impact winning. That ultimately is going to be the best version of Kristaps Porzingis. It's not about he's not going to 25 and 12. We're not talking about that. We're talking about elevating his play because it's more meaningful, because he has a real chance. And you've seen a number of quotes, whether it's from Drew or Kristaps. It's like, yeah, we all have to sacrifice. This is for us. It's a different position. These guys have won at a high level. Haven't won it all, of course, but they've been in the mix, as you said, year in and year out. And it's up to us in the sacrifice to sort of get this group over the top.